Hey Zen friends, happy solstice! If you're in the northern hemisphere of the planet, you're experiencing the longest day of the year, and if you're in the southern hemisphere of the planet, you're experiencing the longest nights of the year as the North Pole leans towards the sun. But no matter where we live on the planet, we can all access whatever energy of the solstices that we're wanting to experience in the moment. Winter solstice brings the ending of things as the upper world becomes cold. Things hibernate, things deteriorate. But a lot goes on underneath the surface of the ground and beneath the surface of snow, if you have it there, to prepare for the planting and birthing of things in spring. Summer solstice brings the energy of growth as the sun shines bright, and there's plenty of it, having the longest days, as I mentioned. So the solstice is the pivotal point where we begin the movement back to the equinox of balanced days and nights as the cycles of seasons continue. So there is a time and a purpose for every season. What a great reminder that nothing stays the same. And if you don't like the weather of the moment, flow with it because it won't normally stay that way. It'll, normally change before we know it. It's also a great reminder that we're not in control of the outside world. I may not be able to control the weather, but I can control my attitude toward it. And if I focus on how much I hate the weather of the moment, I will grow that emotion. But if I choose to be grateful for what is, then gratitude and things to be grateful for will grow as well. Gratitude and joy are powerful emotional choices that we can make at any moment if we wish. There's no wrong or right choice, just different choices with different experiences and outcomes. Solstices and equinoxes do support a time of reflection, balance, and self-care, and we can look back over the last season to see what did I learn and what will I intend to do with this new awareness that I gleaned during that period. And I can balance that energy with the opposing energy of the other side of the hemisphere. We can honor the light of the summer solstice and or the reflective hibernation hermit energy of the winter solstice at any moment that we wish. And which one will you choose in this moment? Well, in this video, we'll have a 3-month solstice reading, which will be by astrological element for the date 6/20/25 through around September 20th, 25. So we'll have 4 separate videos, of course, because there are 4 groups of elements. And you can use these for any planetary energies. So if you have your sun in an earth element, you can check out the earth element video. If you have a water sign moon, check out the water element video. If your rising sign is an earth element, you could check out that one if you want as well. You can get a clearer picture of the different areas of your life by checking out whatever planet rolls over that house or area of your life, whichever planet you look into. So the 3-month reading is going to include a 3-month kind of, I call it a navigational compass reading. I'm going to be using this beautiful tarot deck for that today, the Tarot Magic deck. And then we will also be having a separate oracle card for each of the 3 signs within the element. We're going to use this cosmic magical oracle. It's all about the magic, it seems. And then we'll end with a special bonus from this Seasons of the Witch oracle here. It's the Litha oracle, which is the summer solstice. And there's a 6-card spread, which is a welcoming summer spread reading. So we'll do all that. And I'm excited for all this, to get all these messages for any help we can get, any messages from Spirit for this 3-month period. So let's check out and see what messages Spirit has for you for the summer/winter season. All right, Earth signs, this is your reading coming in here. And we've got for Taurus, for Virgo, for Capricorn, of course. And we're going to start off with our little compass reading. And what I do is I take a tarot deck. I'm taking this magic deck that we talked about in the beginning. And I split out the major arcana from the 4 suits of the minor arcana. Now, the major arcana represent the overall energy that Spirit wants you to know about for the entire 3-month period. And then we'll dive into the individual different 4 areas of a human existence in life to find out those areas. So let's start off here with the major arcana. So for all earth signs, what is the theme for these next 3 months? All right, we have this here. We'll put this over here. And we've got the Hanged Man. So very transformative energy. It's like a caterpillar going into a cocoon, transforming into a beautiful butterfly. There is this energy of seeing things from a higher perspective and clarifying things too. So I like that kind of transformative, deep, just deep energy change that's happening during these 3 months. Now, we'll dive into the 4 different areas. I use a specific kind of medicine wheel where south is fire, and that's where we'll start with the fire element, which represents your overall energy for the next 3 months, including your passion, your creativity, attraction, intention, energy. So overall, what does Spirit want you to know about your energetic experience for the next 3 months? So for all right, we do want this one here. So all fire signs. Wow, you got the Queen of Wands. Yeah. So Queen of Wands, get out of her way. She puts her mind to something. She really is able to make movement and progress toward it. So I like this energy of transformation and change. And I feel like all that energy is what's being built into here and transforming with it. So the Queen of Wands, you'll see she has a little black cat on the bottom here. All of the other royalty, the page, the knight, the king, and the wand suit has a lizard to protect from risk. Queen doesn't need that because of her natural connection with the wand's energy to spiritual energy, but all the queens get a second portion of water behind the scenes. And so that water energy, the emotional energy, gives her like a empathic and additional connection to the spirit world. So whenever she is wanting to know which way should I go, you hit a fork in the road or a wall and you have to go left or right, she just dials up the eye in the sky, talks to spirit and asks, which is best for me? And she gets detailed answers. She acts on it and people are like, how do you do that? And that's because of her connection. So you have this enhanced ability during these 3 months to connect with spirit, get very clear answers. We always can, but your energy here with this transformative energy, it's maybe a little hermity too, where you're spending time thinking into yourself, transforming. Even in your dream time, your spirit and your spiritual posse are going to be communicating with you to bring you messages for transformation. So I like that. So beautiful, beautiful, powerful energy. And then we move to the north, which is the element of earth. Now, this is the only one that's about the outside world, inner energy. We're going to do emotional energy, mental energy. All of that's inside, but the physical earth energy is the outside world. All those other individuals on the same stage as you, relationships with humans, your work, your job, your career, social status, that type of thing, your body, your bank accounts, your possessions, all of that stuff in the physical outside world. What is going to be your physical experience during these 3 months that Spirit wants you to know of, all right? They do want to bring this one in. You have the Knight of Pentacles. So 2 kind of messages with this. One, it's the slowest moving night out of them all, being the outside world. Everything else moves quicker, on the inside. But the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest because we've got seasons. We're all talking about seasons now, right? 3 months of summer, 3 months of fall, 3 months of winter, 3 months of spring. It takes time for things to unfold. So you're learning to go with the flow, a little bit of patience. I know. But all knights are also on a quest, and this one's on a quest for the Ace of Pentacles, which is about looking at your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. So I feel like this time in this cocoon is discovering your true identity, your true worth. So over these next 3 months, from June 20th to around September 20th, you're going to be going through not an identity crisis. We're going to call it an identity awareness program. So I like that coming in here for you. So beautiful, beautiful. Just know that time might go a little slow. It might seem like things are like going into very slow-mo, like frame by frame. Instead of regular speed, it's like really slow. But it's given you time to raise your love vibration, because with all this energy that's being invested, it's like it's keeping the outside world slow while all this on the inside really speeds up, so that you're not drawing in lower vibrational things. You're raising your love vibration, so you're going to be drawing in different things. If it kept at regular speed, you'd continue to draw in lower vibrational things amongst it all too. So I like that for you. Then we move to the east, which is the air element, which is of the mind. It's your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your expectations, your belief systems. It's also about your communication. So let's see what Spirit wants you to know about your mental adventure during these next 3 months for all earth elements. Signs here. Let's see. What do you have here for us for the air element? Okay. This one here. Let's see what we got. Okay. We got this for the fire signs too, the first one that I've done. So the Three of Swords, obviously it looks a little bit whoa, but this is, I call it the expectations card. Expectations equal disappointment, heartbreak, disappointment, the fears of that this has to happen, this has to happen, this has to happen in order to be released from it. So all of that is being brought in here with this, and it's, heartbreak is it's a lie in a way, because our hearts can never be broken. And when Spirit told me that, I always, when I talk about the Three of Swords, I'm like, then explain this, when my heart felt it was split in half, where did that come from? And Spirit very gently showed me that, this is all about the feeling of fear pricking our heart. Like when we get startled by something jumps out, something runs out in front of our car, we almost drop something. That feeling is heartbreak. If you really sit with that energy, you will see that it is all the same. But the difference when something happens in the outside world and you almost drop something and you don't, you calm down because the situation is taking care of it. When it's an emotional monster, that's when it keeps looping, because usually takes like 90 seconds for an emotion to go through our entire system. But if we keep looping it, that's why it feels like heartbreak, because we're feeling that fear ignite, ignite, ignite. It's almost like a car. I think that's how spark plugs work. Don't ask me, but I think that's the theory. It's like little explosions. It gets it going. That's what keeps the pistons and the engine going. That's what keeps heartbreak going, is that fear over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So we can, I feel like all of this that this is talking about here is this realization of the expectations, the stories that don't serve you anymore, and the slowness of things, this new way of looking at things, and this energy that you're putting towards this transformation is about letting go of a lot of the fears of not being lovable, acceptable, being rejected, if you're not living up to other people's expectations. But I feel like you're having these opportunities over these next 3 months to really release that, to transform those so you see them differently. So I love that. Then we move to the final element, which is water, which is the Suit of Cups. Of course, this is our emotional energy, so this will be what Spirit and Creator, your spiritual posse, wants you to know about your emotional adventure during the next 3 months. So what for our earth element? Of course, I forgot to mention earth element, that's your guys' here. So you're right at home with that. You're probably more grounded and patient than most people, because you have that natural gift of slow motion. If you, it's because you can ground yourself and feel that beautiful energy. All right, so for the emotional, you've got the 10 of Cups, joy, joy overflowing. And you've got this Pisces energy coming in twice here too. So I like this for you because this is what brings you joy. The expectations that have been like a gate, but it's more, not so much a gate you can see through, but more like a floodgate, like in a field, and they hold back water and then they open it up and they let it flood through to water, the field or whatever, the irrigation. This is like the floodgates of emotion can open up, but this process is what you go through. This is what you get as a reward. At the end of it is this feeling of joy overflowing, feeling fullness of it all. And it starts from the inside. This Ace of Cups at the top, that's your chalice. That's you. You fill up with this, with your identity, with this finding out who you really are. And then it flows out and fills up everything else like a champagne. I think I saw one of those ones. I've seen them in movies where it fills up and it fills up the other glasses. The self-love that you find during this period of time allows you to have a new outlook on life because you're filling up from the inside with all this re-emergence of the true you, the butterfly, and then you're just full and overflowing, and then the outside world changes from a place of disappointment and lack into something more full, extra, overflow, right? So I love that for you. So that's a little bit of a compass, just kind of showing the different areas of your life and the overall picture. Now we will jump in here and we're going to pull from the Cosmic Magic Oracle, one card for each, one for Taurus, Virgo, and for a Capricorn. So let's shuffle these up. Let's see what we have. So what's the special message for Taurus? Okay, we'll put them down here for now. And then what about Virgo? Okay. We got Virgo, and then I really feel like this one is for Capricorn. All right. Let me just scooch these over here. All right. So let us bring over the book here, and we will dive in. So Taurus, you've got Aquarius energy. The pouring out of the cups here. And it's about individuality. And this is card number 11, the 11th house. And this fits so much into finding out who you really are. And I'm an Aquarius sun. So I get the quirkiness. You get to kind of like fly your freak flag and be true to your authentic self, discovering who you are, transforming, going, I'm a beautiful butterfly, and bam, you have these, super cool wings that you're going to show everyone. So I love this. Let's see what else we have here, Taurus. So we are all made of the same stardust, but we each have our own unique magic. Each have our own way of thinking, expressing, connecting, and growing. Things that only you can do and nobody else. The things that give us life and make us tick. We all have our own unique quirks, strengths, and talents that make us who we are. Truth is, all the things that make us unique are part of what makes us so beautiful. Aquarius is a sign that is strongly associated with individuality. An air sign ruled by Saturn, Aquarians are not afraid to stand out and do things their own way. They are ruled by Saturn originally, but of course, more in modern times, we look at Uranus, because Uranus wasn't discovered when they first developed astrology. So it is ruled by Saturn, but mainly by Uranus energy. But they are independent, innovative, and original, and tend to challenge society's norms. Yeah, being called not normal is a compliment to an Aquarian. and thus for you during this 3-month period. When we embrace our individuality, it encourages us to be our true selves. The Aquarius card acts as a reminder to be unapologetically you, to express yourself, to think outside the box or outside the cocoon, to pursue your passions, to do things your own way, to allow yourself to stand out from the crowd. Do not compare yourself to anybody else. To be free from what others may think of you. Free of expectations, like we were talking about, right? So when this Aquarius card has come into the reading, you can reflect on the following 3 questions. 1, what would I do different on a daily basis if I weren't worried about being judged by others? Number 2, what are some things I can do to nurture my individuality? Number 3, what is my favorite thing about myself that makes me unique? An affirmation for you, Taurians: I am one of a kind, and I am embracing my unique individuality. And a little self-care practice says, oftentimes, embracing our individuality starts with self-acceptance and self-love. And this can be a lifelong journey. A great place to start with self-love and self-acceptance is with self-reflection, right? Into the little cocoon you go. Set aside some time to think and or journal about your individuality, the things that make you, you, and how you can nurture more individuality in your life. Wow, I love that. So that's what they have for you, Taurus. And then for Virgos, you've got Neptune. So here's that Pisces energy ruled by Neptune. Beautiful, beautiful card. So yours is all about imagination, not following the yellow brick road, following the multicolored brick road, right? So card number 26, let's put that up here. Okay, let's see what that brings in for you. So Virgos, do you remember being a child when your imagination was right at your fingertips? You could simply look at the sky or hold a toy or dress up, and your imagination would run wild with limitless ideas and stories about things that would oftentimes seem so impossible. But while we don't access this imagination as often as an adult, it still is there for us, ripe for the picking. Imagination is a powerful tool that allows us to create and explore new possibilities with our minds. Imagination can be great for healing, setting personal goals, discovering our passions, problem solving, and also for fun and enjoyment. Neptune is the planet of imagination. It is the modern planetary ruler of Pisces, traditionally ruled by Jupiter, and it governs over the 12th house of mystery and dreams. Neptune represents spirituality, creative expression, imagination, and intuition. The Neptune card is here to remind you to nurture your imagination, to let it run wild and see what comes up, to dream big, create freely, to ponder the impossible. And when this card comes up for you, 3 questions you can ask yourself. 1, what does imagination look like to me? 2, how do I use imagination in my life? And 3, how do I feel when I embrace my imagination? Beautiful. Affirmation for you for this card: I embrace the power of my imagination. Self-care practice you can do. It says do something to tap into your imagination. And that could look like painting, playing music, singing, writing, making pottery, journaling, drawing, etc. Pay attention to how it makes you feel. Also consider reading a fiction book and see how you might feel inspired by reading someone else's imagination. Imagination is a spectacular thing. Let it run wild. Yeah, definitely this energy of being true to your authentic self and then realizing yourself as a co-creator and allowing creativity to flow out in some way. Something else that I mentioned, because I have several friends, in fact, a Virgo who's a kitchen witch. So I used to call her that. My Sagittarius host now, she's also a kitchen witch. They like recipes, that's a good starting point. And then they add their own flavors into things. And that's how one of the ways they express their creativity. And I love that because a lot of you probably can resonate with that too. So I love that. And then we're going to go into Capricorn. So for Capricorns, you got Black Moon Lilith for yours. Beautiful, beautiful card here. And that is card number 35. Let's put her over here. And what does this have for you? So are you even aware of the power that lives inside of you? The raw energy that you have available to access if you choose to? Because it's there. And you deserve to feel free, empowered, liberated, and not have to hold yourself back or settle on anything. It's time to claim your power. The black moon Lilith is a point along the moon's orbit farthest away from the earth. And in astrology, it is associated with raw feminine power, independence, instincts, mystery, and sensuality. It also represents our repressed desires. The Black Moon Lilith card acts as a reminder to embrace our personal power, to let ourselves run free, to release ourselves from any repression, to liberate ourselves, to not apologize for our wildness, to see our empathy and love and sensitivity as sources of strength rather than weakness. So when you get this card in your reading, you can ask yourself the 3 questions and reflect on them. 1, what does personal power mean to you? 2, when was the last time you felt powerful? And number 3, are you currently feeling repressed or stuck in any area of your life? And how can you move past it? Wow. Affirmation for the card, I am powerful and a force to be reckoned with. And a self-care practice is to try a visualization exercise. Visualization exercise. That makes a difference, right? Do a visualization and then exercise, or C, do a visualization exercise. Close your eyes and imagine yourself feeling powerful. Maybe you're drawing from a personal experience when you felt powerful, or maybe you're imagining yourself in a way that you have not experienced, but in a way in which you want to feel powerful. Focus on the emotions and feelings that rise when you feel like you're stepping into your power. And take note of what that feels like and ponder how you can do things in your life to cultivate that feeling of personal power and embrace that raw energy. Wow. Great messages for all of you earth signs here. They really relate to everything we've been talking about here. And then we're going to go into the seasons of the witch, the Litha. It's like Black Moon Lilith, but we have Litha Oracle. And this is the 6-card spread. So we will go through the questions here as I pull these. So at first we'll ask, what is your biggest lesson from spring? These cards, with the shifting of seasons, it's a great time for self-reflection. Obviously, that's coming through a lot in these readings. But this is a great spread to discover your biggest lessons from spring and what you can expect for summer. So the first card right out is going to ask, what is your biggest lesson from spring? So from springtime, all right, here we go. Evidently that is it. We'll just put these like this for now. Number 2, how did you experience the most growth in spring? So how did you experience the most growth? All right, we flag that as number 2. Number 3 is showing itself already, which is how can you successfully shift from spring to summer? We'll scooch that right here for now. Number 4 is what can you look forward to in summer? Number 5, what obstacle will you face in summer and overcome? Very good. And then how can you experience the best summer ever? Card number 6, all right. Best summer ever, right? All right, let's start off here. So what was your biggest lesson from spring? You have Sun Tea. Beautiful card there. 41, saying slow, intentional, delicious interweaving with life holds more magic than you think. So here's that Knight of Pentacles energy, but it's I feel like that's what's been going on for a little bit, evidently through spring for you too, because this energy of slowness is making itself known. And this is one of the biggest lessons you learned. Are you done with patience? You're like, heck yeah, I'm tired. I'm not tired. I learned everything I need about patience, because if we're tired of patience, guess what? We get more of it. All right. But this is energy of slow magic, calm living, and simplicity. So sun tea is slow magic in the most delicious way possible. Just fill a mason jar with fruit and herbs and let the sun gently extract precious nutrients. It's the easiest form of folk healing, a wonderful way to nourish your body and mind. Whether you're doing it for physical or spiritual reasons, sometimes the biggest magic is found in the smallest act of bliss. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Less is more when pulling the sun tea card. So that's what you learned. Less is more, simplifying things, slowing down things, and really enjoying the senses. Earth energy, really Taurus quite a bit, but Capricorn and Virgo can also really, once we get out of our heads, I'm a Capricorn rising, but so once we get out of our heads, we can enjoy the pleasures and the senses as well. Says don't make things harder than they need to be by introducing too many options, too many steps, or too many people. In a world where everything is maxed out and amplified, this card advises you to keep things as uncomplicated as possible. Rather than focusing on doing more, scale back and do less really well. A chocolate cookie with brown butter, slowly aged whiskey, basil, and artisanal, artisanal sea salt sounds lovely, but so does a good old-fashioned chocolate chip cookie baked to perfection. Adding extra layers is fine when the foundation is good, but otherwise, it's just a busy mess that's all bark and no bite. There is no rush to move things along faster than is necessary, so you can slow down and rest assured that you aren't missing out. Don't feel pressured to go out when you don't feel like it, or say yes to an opportunity just because it's available. The whole world doesn't need to be famous or rich or eccentric or living life in the fast lane. No lifestyle is bad or wrong as long as it fulfills your needs. So I like that. Do we want to read the sun tea recipe? I suppose we will. Since I said it out loud, that's what they want me to do. So this tea spell is ritualistic in how intentional the process is. And setting intentions into tea is a powerful way to work with the plant spirits of the ingredients to amplify your spell. Ooh. So here we are also working with the sun's energy, which will boost your spell, but most importantly, the sun will bring you into your presence. So the recipe calls for regular tea bags. Use 4 bags for 2 quarts of water or 8 bags for a gallon of water. I love hibiscus for the spell, but any herbal tea will work, and you can even mix tea bags. Glass is recommended over plastic for brewing sun tea, but if you're using plastic, make sure the container doesn't contain any bisphenol, bisphenol-A. You will need a glass container, some tea bags, sprigs of lavender, edible flowers, and sugar, honey, or artificial sweetener. This tea is flexible, and I suggest customizing it, however works for you, by replacing the lavender flowers with other flowers and choosing whether or not to sweeten the tea or add edible flowers. Customizing adds more of your magic, and the power comes in when you start the process. With everything you do, from preparing to drinking, Keep your intention in mind. Fill the container with water and place the tea bags, lavender, and flowers in it. Leave the container out in the sun to brew for 2 to 3 hours, then place it in the fridge to cool off. Once it's cool, you can add the honey or sugar, and when you do so, think of your intention again. Drink slowly, be present, and enjoy. Wow. So that's a great recipe, but I like that. Your biggest lesson from spring: slow down, make some tea, intention in the process, but enjoy the senses is what you did. For spring is one of the big things you've learned from spring. And you might not have realized it until now going, yeah, I have. So I like that. So number 2, how did you experience the most growth in spring? You have citrus fruits. All right. Card number 4. It is a time to surrender to your unraveling. Allow the waking sight to expand and illuminate you. All right. Let's put that in here. Number 4 is how did you experience the most growth? By seeing the fruit, enjoying the fruit of your labor. I kind of feel that coming in here. Let's see what else we have. Keywords for this energy is a spiritual opening, cleansing, and purity. So the brightness, freshness, and powerful cleansing properties of citrus fruits have appeared as a sign of your spiritual awakening. Yep. All this transformation, right, with the Hanged Man. This is a powerful portal that promises the deliverance of the illusions you have experienced up until this point. You are literally waking up and beginning to question everything about your relationships, purpose, and way of living. Old teachings, especially those to do with religion and spiritual beliefs, may begin to feel wrong or elicit doubts about whether or not you are actually receiving benefit from their guidance. You may find that things naturally come to a conclusion when receiving this card. Relationships drift away and you grow apart. A house no longer feels like a home, or you feel it's time to move on from a career or job. These are intentional decisions that feel right rather than anything destructive or devastating. You are simply beginning to align with your soul and make choices that reflect this evolution. Ultimately, you will begin to feel more light and free as a result of this process, and many people will begin to experience a deeper understanding of your soul's calling. Wow. Powerful energies here. So I think I skipped a page. Yep, that's it. That's all that they have for this one here. So very much this embracing the fruits, and I'm kind of getting reminded here of like the 7 of Pentacles, which is normally like the Knight, which is the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit, but there's another meaning, which is when you start to see the old fruit, you're not as like, I'm not satisfied with that fruit as I thought I was, and so now I'm ready for something new, and that's what's taking you into the cocoon, because you're ready for transformation. You're ready for something that's more in alignment with who you really are, because the old stuff, yeah, it was good, but it's like, it's lacking. There's something missing, and that's what you're heading into here. I love that. So how can you successfully shift from spring into summer? Let's grab this one here. You've got garden beds. Planting a new garden. Card number 11. Sometimes it's difficult to see how hard you're working when you don't provide space for reflection. There you go. So how do you successfully shift? Here's that reflection that's coming in here. So let's put them up here. And let me just straighten that out there a little bit. All right. Good enough, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, but it does have to go up a little bit. All right, let's take a look here. Number 11. So I do feel here this is this, definitely this reflection period, preparing the garden for new seeds, new fruit, working smarter, resourcefulness, and evaluating progress. So having a home garden is hard work, but there are ways to work smarter and make the most of the spaces you have with the use of garden beds. They raise your garden up, making things a little easier on your knees, helping to keep critters out, and allows you to control the soil content, reduce weeds, and provide more growing space. It's a much easier way of setting up your home garden, especially if you are a beginner who doesn't have the know-how to tackle more challenging growing areas. Will it guarantee success? Nah, but it's always a good idea to work smarter, not harder. Agreed. This card questions how productive you've actually been, right? Here we go again with the, do I feel as productive as I thought this was going to bring me? Are you doing a lot of busy work but achieving very little? Are you taking extra steps or making simple mistakes that are easily avoided? Take a look at your progress to determine whether you are actually making any progress. You could be wasting your efforts on something that isn't worth your investment. If you're happy with where you are, consider how you can be more methodical in your approach. Now might be a good time to have an assistant, implement a system to increase input, or consider eliminating something so you can focus all your energy into something else, right? That's what we're talking about with the Seven of Pentacles. And this, apple orchard isn't bringing me what I want, so I'm going to sell that and I'm going to buy a, avocado orchard because I want guacamole, right? So drawing this card can also have another meaning where you're wasting a lot of time trying to learn skills when you could enroll in a class or work with someone who has the experience to help you cut through a steep learning curve. So collaborating, asking someone to teach you something instead of just trying to do it all yourself, right? There is a self-reflection mirror practice that it gives you here. It says, it is no surprise that you work harder than you have to due to a hustle culture, trying to survive and pay the bills and having no space planned into your daily routine for self-reflection. Self-reflection could be integral to your life, whether you're an entrepreneur, working a 9-to-5 job, or are a stay-at-home parent or guardian. Reflection allows you to see and pinpoint where you are overwhelming yourself and allows you to adjust and address those issues. You will need a mirror. You can stand up or sit on a flat surface, although a handheld one will work fine. In this practice, the power comes from having a conversation with yourself, from communicating with yourself. Try to do this at the end of the day, as in this way, you can review your day and adjust as needed for the next day. For example, this morning it took me so much time to write my newsletter. What caused this to take longer than anticipated? How can I be better prepared next time? What would help to have in place for a smoother, more efficient creation of my newsletter? That's just an example. But you can honestly discuss anything in your day with yourself. Even I was just seeing how you can do your phone and you can switch the view to like when it's going to be a selfie and you can talk to yourself. You can even record it if you want, but you can at least look at yourself, without recording it if you don't have a mirror as well. So I love that. So that's how you can successfully shift from spring to summer. That self-reflection that we were talking about here with the Hangman too. And then what can you look forward to in the summer? So let's take a look here. You have stargazing, master number 33. Beautiful energy. It takes a lot of courage to reach for the stars, to expand the self, but it is possible. Wow. So you can look forward to this expansion. You can look forward to this seeing yourself in a different way. So I love that self-discovery energy that's coming in here. Let's see what else we have here for you. So this is all about courage, reaching for the stars, and seeing what is truly possible. So look up to the starry skies and imagine how much we've already discovered of the myriad worlds that are out there. Humans have launched satellites into space to connect billions of people worldwide, and we've put men on the moon and sent rovers to Mars. We've created telescopes that are capable of seeing beyond our solar system and have discovered planets light years away. All of those things started as a spark in someone's imagination, little more than a passing thought that turned into life-changing history. Knowing all this, ask yourself if what you want is truly possible. Will it be difficult? Probably. Will it require you to grow, adapt, have courage, and take risks? Yes, of course. But is it impossible? No, my dear, it is not. Something is only impossible until someone believes enough to make it a reality. There is a pathway for you to manifest your dream and ideas if you're willing to reach higher than what you're comfortable with. You cannot reach your goals being who you are now, and while there's nothing wrong with who you are today, if you were the kind of person who could accomplish your goals, you'd have done them already. Have the audacity to imagine your best self and then become that, right? Become your true, authentic self. How do you need to grow in order to chase your dreams? Are there skills you need to learn or habits to defeat? Or do you need to forgive someone and possibly yourself? Consider how you can expand yourself, whether your reading is about love, career, finances, or creative pursuits, or all the above. You brought in your idea of what's possible every time you have the courage to learn something new or challenge an outdated idea of yourself. I love getting with all this dreaming, mentioning in there. It's like there was a great movie with Robin Williams when he was with us about what dreams may come. And he ends up on the other side. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it. I really encourage you. It's a beautiful, amazing movie. Because when they're eventually everyone gets to heaven, and he has a challenge ahead of him regards to one of his loved ones, and he's like, well, can we go get him? And they're like, no one's ever thought of that before. There's no rules here, so let's go try. Let's do it, And that's the whole thing. That's the way, like, true, the other realm, the other side, back home, there are no rules. There are no restrictions. We could create and do and do that. So I love that challenge of that. All right, and then number 5, what obstacle will you face and overcome? You have the paper boats, card 27. All right. So 27, stay afloat and don't tilt too much. A lesson awaits you. Ooh, okay. So obviously there's a lesson to learn, an obstacle to overcome. Number 27, let's find out more about that here. This energy is about sending blessings, receiving good fortune, giving and receiving. Yeah, I kind of feel like there is an energy of feeling worthy and kind of overcoming with these, some of the thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, the unworthiness that we feel, but the true discovery that you are worthy of every blessing, I feel like is a big piece of this transformation, the melting away of, I can't fly. The caterpillars, I can't fly. I don't have wings. I can't fly. And they're like, well, I'm being drawn into this feeling like I need to build this cocoon around me. I didn't know I could build a cocoon either. Okay, let me do that. Okay, well, I'm in the cocoon. What's happening to me? And then their enzymes change them into a butterfly, and they bust out of the cocoon, and they're like, oh, I can fly. And I love that. So it says, a wonderful midsummer practice is to craft paper boats. Fill them with flowers and blessings, then send them off on the rivers, lakes, and streams. Whoever finds them will be blessed with good luck and fortune. It's a beautiful practice that teaches the art of giving and receiving. Abundance is a two-way street. To give, there must be a recipient, and to receive, you must be willing to accept. One cannot exist without the other. There is no shame in sharing or accepting, and you will find yourself experiencing both sides of the coin many times over. Share your time, resources, and skills when you're in a position to do so, as you never know how a gift that is given without expectation can change someone's day, even going on to impact them for a lifetime. Each time you give, you deposit in a karmic coin that will make its way back to you when you need it most. If you find yourself on the receiving end, do so without feeling guilty for needing a helping hand. Allowing others to repay their fortune in kind to you is not a sign of failure or weakness, but is one soul doing their part to uplift another and in turn lift up the greater consciousness. It all flows back into the unlimited stream of love, the universe's cache of kindness. Celebrate your turn in fortunes, being sure to pay it forward when you're back on your feet. Wow, I love that. So some great things coming in there. And then lastly, but not leastly, we've got number 6. How can you experience the best summer ever? You have the Green Witch. Card number 12. No one decision is insignificant. The act of intentionality calls to you. Ooh. So how can it, with your greatest intentions, it's all within your power, which is where we want it, right? We don't want it in other people's hands. We want it in ours. So let's take a look here. Card number 12. So the energy of this is consequences of your actions. Here we go, that karmic, giving and receiving, flowing forward. Mindfulness and interconnectedness. It says the Green Witch is in tune with nature, a very earth energy, sensing the connection between herself and all living things. She speaks to plants, animals, the skies and rivers, hearing their guidance and sorrows, taking just enough for her needs while bringing awareness to the ways humans have negatively impacted the planet. Knowing how she treats the earth is reflected in how she treats herself, and how she treats herself is likewise mirrored in the entire collective consciousness. Green Witch is here to remind you to be mindful of the consequences of your energy, the words you speak, the way you view yourself and others, as well as the actions you take, all have an impact on all of humanity. If you're cruel to someone, that person may go on to harm themselves or others. If you hide your light from the world because of low self-worth or shame, then you rob others of the chance to love and appreciate the gifts you were sent here to share. What you say and do matters, even if you can't see the immediate cause and effect of your choices. And what you don't say and the ways you don't show up also have consequences. Wow. So be aware of what you're giving to the world is part of this too. How you can experience your best summer is be aware of your intentions. We always talk about that. Queen of Wands coming in, and we'll end with this for this. Whatever we focus on is what grows in expense. If I focus on what I hate, if I focus on what's going wrong, if I focus on wanting and needing, which is lack energy, because in order to need or want, you have to be lacking somewhere. So in focusing on what's missing and what you want and need and what you hate, what you fear will come into your life, or you fear will leave your life, or won't come into your life, or won't leave your life, we're feeding all of that stuff and making all those things bigger and bigger and bigger. But if we focus on gratitude for what we do have, what we have had, then we draw more of the things that match that energy. So this giving and receiving, we're always receiving, but it's based on the energy we're putting out, right? We're always giving. Well, what are we giving? All depends on the energy at the time too, right? So I love this. What an adventure! So excited for you for these energies that you're going to be experiencing here as you go into this summer, winter solstice. And those are the messages they have for you, all of you earth signs. And if you're interested in diving deeper with me, I do offer a few different options. I do have YouTube channel memberships. We get together on Thursdays, both levels. I have a Zen Cricket at $2.99 a month, Praying Mantis at $7.99 a month, and we get together for 2-3 hours, sometimes 4, for unlimited tarot readings. We've got oracle readings, past life readings, and talk astrology, whatever we want. Then my Praying Mantis members, we do have, after my Friday and Saturday night live sessions and my Sunday afternoon live sessions, we do have at least an hour together with our Praying Mantis members. There's a link down in the description box if you're interested in all that. I do go live on Friday and Saturday nights at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, Saturday and Sunday afternoons at 11 a.m. Mountain Time for free readings. Donations do get priority doing those, but I do offer all those readings if you'd like to join us then as well. I also have a ton of free content that I put out every month. We've got new moon and full moon readings. We've got when the sun changes signs. We've got all the portals, the Zen Gate portals, like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. We got monthly quest videos that talk about how to live our lives in the 4 different areas, even the ethereal, so the 5 elements like we have in that compass reading. We have weekly Zen Bytes that talk about little short videos on how we can maintain or return to our Zen. And then these quarterly solstice and equinox readings too. So I put out all of this every month. All the playlists are listed down in the description box. If you go to my main channel page, it's at the top, say new for 2025. And my Praying Mantis members get advanced access as I record all these and put those out too. And then also I offer personal readings and a special energetic hedge of peace and love. All that is listed down in the description box of the video as well. Also, every Sunday I put out a Riding the Moontide, little social media postings that talk about the moon changes that are coming up through the week because the moon changes signs. So, and then any kind of important planetary changes, retrogrades, just so that we're aware of some big energies that are happening each week so we can ride those waves instead of being smacked around by them. That is on the community page of the YouTube, also on Facebook and on Instagram. All that information on those pages are also linked down in the description box of the video. So a lot of free content, a lot of things that we offer just to try to help us have the most enjoyable and smooth human adventures. So remember, as you're going through all those, that every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. Remember, have fun. Because why are we being so serious? All right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.